Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Service Drive Revolution, coming to you from the Safe House in beautiful quarantine downtown Los Angeles. We have an exciting live broadcast for you today where I have my personal doctor, great friend, mentor, the reason why I'm so healthy. Dr. Lal is going to be here today, and he's going to explain how you keep safe during this crisis. And the stuff he's going to cover is going to be amazing. But first, I want to talk about how funny it is in these situations, how you can really tell the leaders from the Charlie Browns. Like, leadership is not panicking. Leadership is stepping back and looking for the opportunity in a crisis like this. Right, Christian? Isn't it funny?
Yeah, it's funny. And speaking of leadership, I want you to know that Chuck Norris doesn't get the coronavirus. The coronavirus gets Chuck Norris. That's leadership.
I love that. Yeah, he doesn't because he's Chuck Norris. And we should all be more like Chuck Norris in all this. So the way this is going to work is Dr. Lau is going to go through some things. He has an appointment after this, so he can't stay on too long. But if you have questions, and we have one for him already that somebody sent in, but if you have questions, post them in the questions, and Christian will read them at the end. So feel free. This is interactive. This is something we might start doing every other day or so, just to keep everything topical. I was thinking, Christian, about having one of our detail friends on and talk about how to detail a car during this too, which would be kind of fun.
Yep. We've got some clients getting really, really creative with what they're doing to disinfect the cars. They're doing a lot of videos where they're showing the customers what they're doing to maintain safety. And I know Dr. Lau is going to talk about that in a little bit too. And then speaking of safety, so obviously LA is quarantined and everything like that. And I needed to go to the grocery store. So I really wanted to research and make sure that I was doing my part to be socially responsible. So I looked on the internet and I found that the best thing to do is to wear rubber gloves and then also a ventilator mask. And I'm like, okay, so that looks like everything that I need to do. And it was really awkward because when I got into the grocery store, I realized that the internet lied to me because everybody else had clothes on too.
That's funny. Are we cutting out for people or are we still there? Can you see us, Dr. Lau, okay?
I can see you. I can see Christian.
Okay, perfect. So, Dr. Lau, welcome to Service Drive Revolution. I really appreciate you doing this. In tribute to you, I'm going to smoke a cigar during this. Now, am I allowed more than one cigar a month if we're under quarantine?
No, one cigar a month maximum. And I would prefer if you didn't smoke it at this time, just to keep your lungs a little stronger and healthier. Most of the people who die,
really?
Yeah, most of the people who die or succumb to disease or do worse, they have pre-existing conditions, and weak lungs are definitely a pre-existing condition.
Okay, well, I'm not inhaling though with the cigar.
No one ever. No, who inhales a cigar? No one inhales a cigar. Come on.
Okay, so I won't smoke a cigar during this. So service advisors, as you know, they're necessary in this, right? So
Yep.
Service departments are staying open. Sales are closed in most of the country, so we're not selling cars, but we are servicing them. And so service advisors have to interact with customers. They have to get in cars that might, have the virus in them. And so what are your thoughts on how they can stay safe during this?
Well, so first, guys, listen, I don't, Chris said it fast, I don't really want anyone to panic. You guys are doing a really important job there, and, it needs to continue. However, the worst thing that you can do is panic and, basically lose your shit, basically. So most of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, it's already been discussed. I mean, I just want to emphasize the importance of certain aspects of it, especially with you guys interacting with new people all the time. With the virus in the air, it's essential that you guys start preparing for that right from the minute that you get up in the morning. to the minute that you get home, basically. So doing that, keeping things in mind, is really what's going to keep you protected and safe. Okay. So Chris, you had sent a little bit of a snippet from the Canary Islands Hospital, and you said that you sent it out to people.
No, I just sent it to you to see if it was legit because so many people have been sending me stuff, and you know, I don't want to get caught up in the hysteria, so I always kind of run. You're my filter.
Okay, I thought you had sent this out to people. Okay, so then what I will do is I will sort of combine this two together. So basically, the thing is to, you know, what you want to do is really at home, and this is going to be rather, let's see here. Okay. Every day you guys are out, okay, sorry, but you have, you know, get a new set of clothes. Why? Because the virus can attach itself to clothes, it can attach to the clothes, you know, when you cut, you know, and then it needs to be, you know, you need to wash basically the clothes. So every day you need to have a new set of clothing out there, okay? Hot liquids are
now
also
what I was saying is when you get home, jump right in the shower, right?
Right. Throw your clothes in the bath. Throw your clothes in the wash. Jump in the shower. Scrub well. Wash your hands. You know, and then you know, rinse and repeat the next day.
Yeah. So the first part that you were telling me early on was the first step in this is for me to get my immune system up, right?
Right. So okay, let's talk about that. So as I mentioned before, guys, the people who are compromised in some way with say example diabetes, blood pressure is actually a known factor. So if you have high blood pressure, you are at a significant risk to get this and to go through a rougher course of it. You know, heart disease. You've had other sort of comorbidities, which, you know, obese, and, you know, you've got issues, lung issues as well. Those people tend to do worse. So the best, and why? It's because their immune systems are weaker. So the first thing that I've recommended to all my guys, Chris included, is to strengthen your immune system. So some basic things that you can do at home to strengthen your immune system. Number one, practice good sanitation at home. Okay, wipe your door handles down, you know, and this should be done every 6 hours if possible, like at least once a day, twice a day. And don't think you're overdoing it, because you're not. Anybody touches a door handle, if they've been out in public, you know, it takes the virus. All you have to do is walk through a space where someone has spread the virus, and you can do that up to what, 2 hours, 3 hours, about 2.5 hours. You have it all over you then, right? So it's in your hands. Wash, keep good sanitation at home. For yourself, vitamin C, if you can get some zinc, injectable or oral, that also helps a lot too. There is a protein called colostrum. Yes, it's mother's milk, but that significantly boosts up the IgG in your blood, which is your immune system. And the biggest thing that you can stay, you know, protected, you know, at home or wherever, is get a flu shot. Okay, look, last year 80,000 people died from the flu shot. So far, we've only had 17,000 worldwide die of the coronavirus. So more people are going to be dying of the flu than the coronavirus. Now, let's just say you get sick, okay? You go to the doctor's office, or you go to the hospital, okay? Chances are, but you've probably got the flu. My wife works in Orange County. She is the COVID-19 person at her clinic, and she told me the other day they've tested almost 60 people for coronavirus. Nobody came out positive. However, half of them, more than half, were positive for flu. So if you don't want to be sick, get the flu shot, basically. You know, that's going to save you a lot of hassle, because you still have to go in, and then if you're sick at all, you've got to be quarantined, right? To decrease your chances of, you know, or of just being really, really, you know, you should be quarantined anyways, but just decrease your chances of getting sick, because you still are more likely to get the flu than you are coronavirus. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, Chris? We're having a heavy flu season, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
On top of the corona. Well, another thing that you said to me, Dr. Lau, is to make sure that I'm working out, that I'm getting my HGH high from working out,
Good.
and keeping in that routine, right?
That's a great point, Chris. I'm a big fan of HGH, and people can make it themselves. Why? Because if you look at young children, why is it that young children are suffering less and dying less? Well, simply because they have an active thymus gland. Okay, GH is one of the few things known to man that can actually regenerate that can regenerate the thymus gland. So it's important for you guys. I know it's tough, but a lot of the fitness people are doing their home videos and stuff on how to work out. Please, guys, maintain your exercise schedules. Get your sleep. Eat properly. Don't eat like crap. Don't let yourself go, because the only thing you're going to guarantee is if you get it, you're going to suffer a worse course.
Yeah, and more when you do work out, more things that are more like sprints, right? That really get your HGH up. Am I saying that right?
Right. Yes, exactly. The high intensity interval training is probably the most proven thing. What I want is to make sure everybody is at least doing something every day, because when you're at home, your blood doesn't move. Get your blood moving. Walking is great, but it's not cardiovascular. But even if you can just walk at home. If you really want to take it to the next level and restart your GH production in your body, that's when you got to do the high interval training. And you need to sleep like a maniac. 7-8 hours sleep a night.
Daryl here, Dr. Lau, said, I think drinking enough tequila would help, right? Flatten out the curve. Alcohol kills the virus.
If you want to pour tequila on the virus, it might do it, but good luck on that.
Okay, so then the first part is staying healthy yourself, so
right.
Your immune system is up. And then now when you're interacting with people, what are the best practices?
So I wish I'm saying this with no disclaimer on the lack of supplies with gloves and masks. I know they're in short supply. I have actually 2 patients who are involved in making more masks for the country, doing deals with India and China to bring the masks over. So there is a lack of these things, but I'm going to apologetically go over that and just give you my recommendations regardless. So the coronavirus, there's 2 theories on how it spreads. And the first one obviously is the respiratory droplet theory. So what does that mean? It means that if you are in a crowded room, you cough, anybody within 3 to 5 feet is at risk, okay? The reproductive rate for this is about 3 people, okay? And if you compare that with the influenza virus, 1 person to 1 person transmission, okay? You have to actually breathe on that person. With this one, it's about 1 to 3. So if you just do a simple numbers, this spread is exponential, and that's one of the reasons why everybody is so, that it's so different this time. So that's why, aggressive, being aggressive on cleanliness is really, really important. So and the other way is fecal oral, and that's, obviously, you have pipes, you have people who are sick and all that stuff, especially with old buildings. The sewage lines, if they leak at all, it gets on it. That's probably one of the ways it spreads as well too. That's kind of going by the wayside, the fecal oral route theory, but respiratory droplets is obvious. So the first thing I would say to everybody is, get gloves and get a mask. The masks, I've got one here. This is a typical N95 mask, okay? The micron count that it really can block out small particles, up to 5 microns actually. The regular masks are not sufficient. You need to have a seal that forms on the top. Let me see if I think I have another one here. Anyways, so these are the only, yes, you can get if you cannot find an N95 mask, do what you can, get a basic mask on. And I encourage you guys to do this, especially when you're talking to new customers and stuff like that, because honestly, you don't know where they've been. You don't know their hygiene habits. I was out shopping in Orange County. I was the only guy wearing a mask and gloves in the store. And I'm thinking, everybody was looking at me. I'm like, wow, single brain.
What do you think about Dr. Lau? So a lot of restaurants have been doing takeout down here downtown, and one of my favorites, Gorilla Taco, they did this he's genius actually. It was genius marketing. He did tacos for a week, so it was tortillas, meat, all the sides, 30 eggs, and 2 rolls of toilet paper for, I don't know, whatever the amount was. But when you got to the restaurant, you had to call, you gave them their number, and then they brought it out and put it in your car, but you never touched anybody. Do you think, like, for us, like, should we call the customers, get all the info, and then maybe not actually interact with them in person?
As much as possible, yes. I mean, this is a thing where logistics, reigns supreme. If you can decrease the interactions, physical interactions between, the two people, then yes, absolutely. I mean, look, it's going to spread within 2 to 5 feet. So anything we can do to keep the people back, avoid the touch, avoid, skin contact, that would definitely help. So yes, it is a very smart thing.
Now, what about the car? Like, so somebody brings in their car, and let's say you talked to them on the phone, you knew what they needed, so they just dropped off the car and left. What should we do when we get in the car? Of course, have gloves, have a mask, but if we sit it in the sun, do we Clorox the thing? Like, what are the best practices?
First, wipe down the door handles, the seats, anything you're going to put your hands on, anything you have contact with, okay? That's the first thing. You guys have, get your wipes going, talk to your bosses about getting wipes. Each car should be wiped down on the inside, sprayed down, wiped down just before you get in. Again, we want to prevent transmission. One of the key concepts that I think people are missing is there is this growing, not growing, but growing understanding of people can be asymptomatic carriers. What does that mean? You could have the virus, you will never suffer from the virus, but you can spread it, okay? And I think that needs to be really at the forefront of anybody's actions here. So with the car, you want to wipe it down. I think after that, then you're pretty much good to go, basically. Open the windows up, let it air out, do everything you can.
Does sitting it in the sun for a couple hours help?
Probably not.
No? When you say spray it down, they should be spraying it with like something with alcohol level above like 80%. Is that right?
Yeah, alcohol, basic soap, just Lysol kind of thing. You want something that is an aerosol, that has a high alcohol content in it. Triclosan, alcohol, whatever you have there. Any of those things should work. This is
somebody just put in comments, we cannot find any wipes or sprays to sanitize because GM has told us not to use wipes because it'll damage the interior. That's interesting.
Try wet ones then.
But don't they have to have a certain alcohol level to kill it?
They do, but I'm talking about like they will help, but it's again, you're wiping it off and hopefully it will do something. It's not going to kill it, but you want to at least do your best to wipe it away.
To wipe it away. Okay.
Yeah. But it's not, that's not the solution. Obviously you want to kill it, but I can't, if GM is telling you to do that, maybe you should try some fumigation procedure or something like that. I don't know, The tequila might help.
What are the fumigation, what would you fumigate a car with to kill it?
Ooh, that's a good question. I off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah, I checked with Mock, but I was wondering if somebody was going to make something to fumigate the inside of the car, like a bomb, because you see people spraying all the time. But I haven't seen that.
I would look at that original GM recommendation and wonder if it's just more overprotective of their interests, and just really, really try to, just toe the line with that. And I don't know what the interest would be. I'm not sure what the exact wording of the GM ruling is, but I would really look to toe that line, spend some time on that.
Yeah, so somebody said, would a steam cleaner work to disinfect the inside of the vehicle?
That's a great thought. It would not disinfect it, though.
No?
No.
Okay. Somebody in here asked the question about gloves. Let me try to find it. Nitrile gloves, are they effective as a barrier? I think any gloves that are a barrier are effective, right?
Yep. Any glove's fine. Latex, nitrile, whatever.
Just Somebody said, check out Clorox Total Care products to help fumigate vehicles. We'll put that link up for everybody if you can swipe that, Christian. We have been using a mixture of 1 quart of water to 2 capfuls of bleach in a spray bottle. What do you think about that, Dr. Lau?
Oh, I think that's great. I mean, the bleach is going to kill everything, especially a small amount of it. You know, you need 1 capful to sanitize like 2 liters of water. So yeah, no, that whatever ratio you can get, that's within that, that's fine.
Okay, and so the key here is, 1 is to get your immune system up.
Right.
So what did you say? Mother of milk, get your flu shot, work
Colostrum.
out.
Yeah. Wash metallic surfaces at home. Get used to doing laundry every day. Your clothes are new set of clothes every day. I mean, it may sound like overkill, but unfortunately, because of the reproductive rate of this virus, it's not overkill. If you smoke, cut it out. Don't decrease your immune system. That's directly going to that is indirectly going to hamper your immune system.
So only 3 cigars a month.
Sure, why not? Just make sure they're not the extra large ones.
By the way, our cigar club closed.
Yeah, they had to. It was a gathering place. That's the other thing, guys. Just so keep in mind here that because of the the reproductive rate of this virus, okay, gatherings is probably the worst thing that you can do. Okay, doing things like this Zoom thing is great, but having the idea that more than 10 people should not get together, I think that's too light. I think it should be 5.
Yeah.
Because you can give the virus up to 3 people within 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, 3 people. Why 5 even, right?
Yeah. I actually think martial law should be in order.
And so then the second one, and this goes to the second point, is Chad Phillips here said, what should we do with customers who want to wait for their repairs? Should we discontinue waiting customers and only allow drop-offs? I personally would. Wouldn't you, Dr. Lau?
Right, because again, just think about this logically. You want to minimize the interaction with people here. If they can go home,
customers giving it to each other.
Right. If they can go home, or even, I mean, I don't know if you guys could send them home in an Uber and pick them up in an Uber. That's better for your place as well, right?
Yeah. So I would discontinue them. And then
I think the takeout restaurant model does warrant some looking into, because I think you guys could apply the same idea there. Like, drop your car off, go home, we'll fix it. Just do everything by call.
Yeah. You don't really have to interact with the customer at all in person. You could do it all over the phone.
Correct.
And that's what the restaurants are doing is you pull up, you call them, you tell them what car they're in, who you are, they come out, set it down, and you never actually touch anybody that way. And so cleaning the inside of the car, wearing a mask, wearing gloves, and
door handles as well.
Handles.
Yeah, on the outsides, the door handles, the back lifts, because families tend to, still open it and stuff.
I probably would have somebody in the service department responsible for cleaning every door.
Somebody's got 7 elderly people in the waiting area this morning. No, send them home. Send them in an Uber.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's you're really asking for trouble there, especially elderly.
Totally. Okay, so then the third part is when you get home, drop trowel, drop all your clothes in the hamper, and jump in the shower immediately, right?
Right. Soap and water. You scrub yourself down. And more important, also scrub the parts of your body that have been exposed to the air. You focus on that one. Focus on those parts.
Yeah, and the other thing about the mask too is, for me, it keeps me from touching my face because I'm always stroking my beard. Right. And so even, people say, well, the mask isn't always necessary, if for anything but to keep you from touching your face.
Well, I think, yes, that also, when you look at it, if you most people are they're going to be, it's sort of like, it's transition season, it's wet outside. If you have a cough or cold, but that's all you have. If you sneeze, you're going to scare the crap out of people, So keep them, so a mask on actually does help that actually.
Yeah. Bridget here says we disinfect every hour high traffic doors and have signs about distancing. Yeah, I think you should somebody should just be doing that constantly. Somebody says here, I can't see the name, but what do you suggest for the on-highway truck drivers and the dealers that are servicing, semis? I don't think it's any different. Have them call, talk to them on the phone, have them drop it off, and then start wiping. Have a mask on, gloves, like almost pretend like you're a nurse in ER, right, Dr. Lau?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's any difference with the trucks and the things. I think everyone should have some level of visual communication to reinforce that says, hey, for your own protection, please do not remain in this office for more than X number of minutes and, keep your distance. Like you said, someone had social distancing sign up. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
And when you talk to people there, make them understand what I'm finding here in people, they're still not clear on the idea that they're the ones at risk. So you want to phrase it, say, for your own health and ours, please leave the premises, kind of thing,
Yeah. This is one thing too, is there's been a lot of stuff going around. So Omar here says the virus can't survive outside of 50 degrees. If you inhale hot vapor or steam, you can fight off the virus. The virus itself is respiratory and sinus. So I don't know that we know that about 50 degrees. We know that it thrives more in cold, but we don't know that it dies at 51 degrees, right?
There's a thought that the more humid areas are more difficult for the virus to show up in. I'm not sure of that, because one of the sites, guys, if you want, at Johns Hopkins, they have a great tracker. It'll show you the number of global cases, and it's accurate to the minute because they're tracking WHO, the European Agency, and they're tracking, the Department of Health. And, what you'll see there is a very, very big spread between, you'll see basically where it is. Oddly enough, countries like India, the Caribbean, they don't really have a lot of spread there. That's where the whole idea is. But then again, in India, the air is like, the virus but believe me, that area there, the virus doesn't want to be there.
Somebody said, what's the difference between bacteria and a virus as to killing them?
What's the difference between a bacteria and a virus? So are you talking about outside or inside the body?
They don't specify that. I'm pretty sure they're thinking outside.
Right. So the same precautions I would take, depending specifically on, for the most part, actually, they would be the same thing. Because of this virus, like I said, because it spreads so fast and it has a dormant, it can lay dormant for 6 days. We want to be more diligent with it.
Oh, this is a good one. My shop deals exclusively with motorhomes, some of which the people live in on a full-time basis. What would you recommend for that? Well, I don't know that you have to get in the motorhome to work on it, right?
I think that's the first question, yeah.
But if you did, like I said, I would be like an ER nurse. I would have on a face guard, mask, gloves. I would pretend like they have the virus in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Better to be safe than
hard.
Yeah. So anything else, Dr. Lau, in closing?
One of the things I noticed that in one of the panels is saying Ziploc bags for keys and phones. I think that's essential as well too. Wipe your phones down, guys. They will track things. So just, you can use those wipes on the phones. They should be fine.
Oh, that's true. Like you can put the keys in a Ziploc bag and then you really don't use a key anymore. It's a remote, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so the remote as well. That's where you got to keep it clean though, because that's people's hands are all over that thing.
Yeah, somebody said here we have encouraged night drops and place all keys in a Ziploc bag. Yeah, that's great.
Very smart there. Very smart.
Dr. Lau, I had a question from Damon. It was more about human body temperature. Can raising body temperature be beneficial? Like being in a sauna, would that help to kill anything?
Yeah, it's gonna. No.
David, by the way, is in northern Canada, so.
Fellow Canadian, hey.
Freezing cold up there.
Yeah. Can raising body temperature help? No, it won't. It won't. Because if you raise your own body temperature, you'll have a fever, and you'll have other problems.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dr. Lau, for coming on. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Chris.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Great comments here on the side, huh, Christian?
This is amazing. Like we got the Q&A and the comments all, and it's just the feed is amazing. You guys are really asking some great questions and super awesome engagement. I don't know if you guys are seeing, but I would copy and paste some of these links. Like there's the CDC has a list of approved products that can help you guys out, because a lot of questions seem to be related to what should I be using in my store. And I think that that's probably a really good guideline to use, is what's the CDC saying. And then, I always think about it in terms of interior protection and not ruining the interiors of the vehicles that we're working on. Is, the more bleach that you put in there, the better the chance of something being messed up. So look for alternatives as far as that goes. But I think it's really important that we're trying to be proactive with what we should be doing.
Yeah, it's great stuff. So too, like the thing is, I think stuff with higher alcohol is better than stuff with bleach, because bleach is going to damage the interiors, but alcohol won't damage it as much. So I think that probably is part of the key, right?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people post that they're trying to do 70% alcohol, which sounds like a pretty good number.
Yeah, I've heard 70 to 80 is what you want to kill the virus. So I know what's funny and what I've been noticing the last year is how service is becoming more sexy in dealerships, right?
It really is. Like I would describe parts and service more like Fredericks of Hollywood, and sales is kind of like Martha Stewart living.
Yeah, no, it's becoming way, way sexier. I love that analogy, by the way. That's funny. Way sexier, and we've been busier than ever in the last year, and even now, like the dealers that have waited for fixed ops to be the priority are the ones that are going to be flat-footed during this and are going to be in trouble. But every day we're talking to dealers that are thriving and dealers that are in a panic, and so if you find yourself in a panic and you haven't prepared yourself for what's going on, because it's going to be a while for sales to come back, especially with some of the manufacturers closing their plants. Service and fixed op is the way. The average car on the road is something like 12 years old almost. It's 11.8. Now with car sales being shut down, early is going to be pent up. And so we're going to get really busy coming out of this. So remember, the time to practice and the time to be working on your business is right now. So if you need help with training, if you need help with some ideas on how to get your pricing strategy in order, your menus, your, a system in the drive, we're here for you. Email us at info@chriscollins. I have some specials going on during this to help some people out that really need it, but I don't want to talk about what they are because I'd rather with somebody. But if you need help and your service department's struggling, hit us up, email us at info@chriscollins. The other thing too, if you guys saw this, the new Auto Success magazine, the Service Manager Challenge is on the cover there. Did you see? Those are backwards, but you guys saw that. Kind of cool that they did that. Nice of them. So check that out too. Any other questions in there, Christian?
Oh gosh, I think that we got the majority of them. It was kind of funny is like someone would ask a question and Dr. Lau would organically kind of get to it. So there's a lot of stuff that got answered already. I think that Jeff had asked, why is everyone freaking out? Because more people die from the flu, which Dr. Lau kind of addressed that as well. But I think one of the things that I've heard is that the human body has no natural immunity to like a COVID-19 virus as opposed to but a lot of it had to do with spreadability is why people are panicking. But it's a good question.
Yeah. I think the secret here is not to interact with customers, to not let them hang out in the waiting room. Somebody I saw something to the effect of, well, what do you do if that upsets customers? Sometimes you have to, we have to be a little unpopular, but be the shepherds and be the leaders and make sure that we're keeping our employees and everybody else safe during this process. So, you just have to have a lot of empathy and listen, but we can't always, some people just aren't going to care, but we have to care.
Yeah, for sure. I think the big thing is that we control the narrative with that. Like, the more information we're exchanging with our clients about what we're doing when they come in, the better off they're going to understand. I think that it's not personal. We're just trying to protect ourselves and protect the clients all at the same time. So I would just let everybody know what your guys' procedures and processes are, and that it's in the best interest of the client. Everyone understands that.
Carl with the case says, does posting CDC guidelines add to the fear, or is it helpful knowledge? I think in a situation like this, Carl, fear is good. I wouldn't be afraid of a little bit of fear. Like, we don't need to panic over it. We don't need to overreact, but we need to take this seriously. Like, we still have to function, but we have to take it very seriously. So I would say that there's nothing wrong with that in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And we do need to take it seriously because even celebrities are starting to get sick from this. I don't know if you heard, but Eminem just contracted the coronavirus. He, in a statement released by doctors, it was revealed that his palms were sweaty, his knees weak, arms were heavy. There was vomit on his sweater already. It was mom's spaghetti.
It's funny when you're saying that, like, I start to hear it in my head.
I was trying to have a little bit of a cadence for you so that you heard it. I don't know if everyone's going to get that whole thing, but that was my last joke.
Oh, Carl said HR directed us to take down CDC information. So
Okay.
Then you got to do what they said. But I don't know that I think that it's okay to have a little bit of fear because we need to take this seriously. And that's my opinion, and that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I
think that
you have mad rapping skills.
You should see me work the turntables, bro.
Somebody said Christian's poor humor makes him more susceptible to the virus. That is not true. And it's not poor humor. He's funny. He makes me laugh all day. These are semi-appropriate jokes. You should hear the jokes when it's just us. Man alive.
We can't say those on video.
Yeah, does the beard help or hurt in the fight? I don't know, but I touch it a lot, so that's the thing. Like, we're locked down here. Like, I haven't gone out. I haven't left my building for I don't know how long. I haven't even gone for a walk outside because I don't want to catch it. So that's I'm being really, really careful. We were told that a hot car, meaning a car that sat in the Florida sun and gets up to 112 degrees, would be better. I've heard that too, that the heat kills it. And so I don't know that I would just do that. I would disinfect it and do that in combination and hedge every bet. But Dr. Lau kind of seemed to think that wasn't enough when we asked him. If we eliminate customer interaction, would you suggest locking our doors during business hours? That's a choice that you guys can make. I don't know that I would lock the doors, but maybe we get to that. I don't know. Who is walking the dogs? I don't know if should we talk about that, Christian?
It's up to
we
you.
have people. I have somebody who walks the dogs who moved in to a spare room here. So we're all kind of locked down. There's like 5 of us, right? Christian is here. So we're all locked down. I'm working remotely from home. My shop has the doors locked and we are doing drop off through Dropbox only. People are still ignoring signs and trying to get into the dealership. We had an old man walk in our side parts department door today asking for an inspection. We're in northern New York, so we were trying to avoid contact. Yeah, so I mean, Maybe
Understand.
locking the doors is the answer there. Are people taking breakdowns or only taking service appointments as well?
A lot of my
I haven't
clients
heard
are
of-
taking everything still.
Yeah, I think that it's still smart to take everything because understand there's going to be a pent up demand. And so coming out of this, we're going to get really busy. So I would kind of try to keep it going. We're in full stride in Montana, not locked down. Yeah. But parts of the country aren't as bad. But, you know, so thanks you guys for getting on this. In closing, you know, this is really the time we got to be leaders. We got to tell our people it's going to be okay. We got to run it tight. We got to be safe, take every precaution, disinfect, really, really be careful. But understand that in this, there's opportunity also. So be really, really careful. And maybe we'll do a couple more of these during this. And we'll talk to you real soon. Do you have anything else you want to say, Christian?
No, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully this is a little bit of a change in the narrative in terms of what we're hearing every day is that, you know, we got some hope, we've got some strategy and some plans, and I really just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help you guys and keep focusing you on being the leaders that you are in your stores. And we're so excited to continue on through this journey with you and keep up the good work.
There's one more question here. We had a question from customers regarding the cleaning of a vehicle after service. On the heavy side, how are people tracking that the tech or service personnel are actually cleaning the asset? I thought about making up tags to put on the steering wheel. Beyond tags, you know what I would do is I would get a grease pencil and write it on the windshield and then clean it at the end. But I would write it right on the windshield, the date and who cleaned it. And that's how I would do it personally and then a tag would be secondary, but you can grease pencil. You can also grease pencil the tires if you want, but you can put a place on the truck or on a car or on a motorhome where you can write in the date. But I like that sort of thing more because I kind of want to know who did it too.
Oh, that's a great point. It's a nice little check and balance. I want to let everybody know too. So after this is all over, you guys will get an email for a recording of this. So if you want to play it back for any of your team members or anything like that, there was some really good information exchange. So that'll be available to you guys very quickly.
Yeah. Thanks you guys. Have a great one. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post new episodes. I'm Chris Collins, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Bulldog Collins. And I'll see you again on the next episode.